Breaking news!
Space Jam 2 is an unmitigated disaster. Space Jam 2 is the definition of corporate. Space Jam 2, the worst movie of the year. Space Jam 2, this movie sucks!
Gary! I was just looking for the sports channel, Gary.
You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes.
Spoilers incoming, they are.
I don't know even what to say, guys. Am I losing my fangs? Have I lost my venom? Am I just not in touch with the internet anymore? I mean, I didn't really go see this movie on opening night. I was more interested in playing Skyward Sword. It wasn't until the night before that I actually went to go see this film, and I gotta say, I don't see what's so terrible about it. What's the plot? Here you go!
What happened was, an evil algorithm took my son. Took that personally.
Yeah, I don't like that term evil, but can we say sinister or maybe nefarious? I mean, egomaniacal?
Nope.
Now, I'm not saying it's a great film. Hell, if you were to ask me which movie is better, this one or the original, I would say the original hands down. I personally think that the original had much more fun with the cast of characters and the pretty stupid concept. And I'd like to point out that this movie also admits it's dumb.
Stop it. Get some help.
There's literally a scene at the beginning where LeBron James outright says to being put into several Warner Brothers properties that it's dumb. The movie knows it's stupid. And sometimes a stupid time is just what you need. Like, it's a movie where Don Cheadle kidnaps LeBron and his kid and pits the two against each other in a video game basketball game where the Looney Tunes happen to join in. Do you think I'm going in to expect Shakespearean writing? No! The original movie had Danny DeVito wanting to enslave the Toons for an amusement park to get money. I'm not going to try to downplay other people's opinions, but I think this film is getting a bit more vitriol than it should be getting. Is the film perfect? Nah, no way. If anything, I think the biggest problem is the film comes off as Space Jam 2, the LeBron story. And at the bottom of the poster you get this minuscule text that says, featuring some old cartoon characters. But the problem being that LeBron isn't really all that strong or compelling of a character. It kinda just falls flat. When the movie is at its 2D artwork, however, that's when I think it's the best in my opinion. And hey, even LeBron was presently creative with the 2D animation, which is something that I think should be taken into account when talking about this movie. Not to mention with the injections of Looney Tunes characters into other films, it was pretty funny, I admit. Wile E. Coyote being in Mad Max is probably the best one for me, and that makes most sense. Then again, I'm a Wile E. Coyote fan, so... However, when it comes to the 3D realm, well, there's just something off. I'm not going to say all the models look off-putting, but there are a few that didn't really translate well from 2D to 3D. Like with Lola Bunny's face, yeah, not saying it's like... Bruh. But there's just something very uncanny that I can't put my thumb on. Anyway, when it comes to the 3D, that's when the film is at its weakest. Especially when Porky Pig does a freestyle rap. Why does every old school cartoon character in modern day media have to do a rap? Why? One other thing that really was off-putting was that the stakes kept on being raised more and more throughout the film. Like, at first, it was just having LeBron being sucked into the computer world, then it jumped up to everyone who watched the game being stuck in the same computer world, and finally the Looney Tunes being deleted. I mean, the original Space Jam had stakes that were raised too, but that actually was used to highlight Michael Jordan's character. And he wasn't that great of an actor in the film either. But he was the one who raised the stakes in order to get back the stolen NBA players' talents that the Monstars stole. But in all honesty, it's just a dumb movie. Yes, there is a lot of shilling for a lot of Warner Brothers properties. And I'm not going to deny that the film is flawed. I rolled my eyes at the sight of in the inclusion of Rick and Morty. Then again, if we can get Sonic in the Sonic Hedgehog movie, or the surprised Pikachu face in Detective Pikachu, I've come to expect memes in these kinds of films. They don't instantly make or break a film for me. Hell, if you were to ask me, the film felt like it was missing something, and no, I'm not talking about Pepe Le Pew or Lola Bunny's rack. I suppose the controversy should be brought up, like, I do agree that the reasoning to remove Pepe was really dumb. Especially when you consider that the movie's willing to include Rick and Morty, a show that has multiple messed up scenes and graphic imagery in it. the characters from A Clockwork Orange, characters that have actually committed rape. Or Pennywise, a character who ate children. All that was okay, but you can't have a French skunk who likes to hit on girls. Back to the movie, it just didn't have that spark that the original had. Like, I prefer the Monstars to the Goon Squad any day. The Monstars, at least, were a major part of the plot of the movie and were active antagonists who weren't just willed into existence. And while they're in the background for this film, I do appreciate them having a cameo, but it just seems meh. And there was a much better mix of the real-world characters and the cartoon characters in the original. There'd be actual scenes of Bugs and Daffy interacting in the real world. Plus, nothing can really beat Michael Jordan being abducted through a golf hole. Also, I wouldn't say this film is a cash grab. A simple look on Google will show this movie started productions way back in 2014.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb.
Cash grabs are usually when a product has little or zero quality. They're hastily made, lazily thrown together for the sole reason of making cash. The product may also have no heart or soul, those ambiguous things, and has no reason to exist other than to make a quick buck. I'm sorry, I don't really get that vibe. This isn't like on Steam where people do asset flips. This was actually originally handmade, and hell, that one scene where all those characters show up, it took a year to animate. I'm sorry, that does not seem to me to be a cash grab. Wait. We were gonna get a movie called Skate Jam with Tony Hawk. Oh god. Spy Jam with Jackie Chan? Not gonna lie, I probably would go to see that one.
I'm ready.
Anyway, yes, there is a lot of shilling. Hell, there's one point in the movie when cartoon LeBron crashes into the ground and when the smoke clears, his body created the Nike swoosh. I guess a ton of people just don't care for that stuff, but as someone who grew up in the age of shows that were essentially just high-budget toy commercials, I don't really see that as much of an issue. I think one of the reasons why this movie just doesn't have that spark of the original is that the original was actually a technological marvel. Yes, you had Who Framed Roger Rabbit come up before, but Space Jam had a bit more polish to it. Heck, fun fact, apparently one of the producers called up Robert Zemeckis about Who Framed Roger Rabbit for tips on a film like this and was told, "Don't do it, it nearly killed me!" There's a reason why the original was a cult classic, and part of the reason was because the movie managed to do something wholly unique with its mixture of reality and animation. Something that at the time wasn't all that common. It was also the first film to ever be shot on a virtual studio. Which, hey, that was actually pretty wicked. I know, I just think that maybe this film is getting a bit too much of a bad rep. I feel like I'm in the minority right here, but hey, you read the title, I'm just trying to be honest. It's not a great film, but I don't believe it's a film that is actively hurting anyone by existing, and trust me, there are tons of films out there that I would consider worse than this. But whatever, this was a short video. Go away now!